Hello! Today we are making another variety of edging found on a Czech site, thanks to Natasha, whose nickname on the land of masters is Nathaniela. She has prompted this idea, and I've taken it up with enthusiasm and decided to get to know a new variety of edge making. On the site it is named Madera. Let's leave the name unchanged. It will be numbered 9 for us. So the edge number 9, Madera. I propose you to edge the small basket prepared beforehand on the base, because this type of edge is rather tall, and when we take the form out, let me show you the article I have trained on. It is unsuccessful, and I am not satisfied with it. I have not destroyed it yet, but I feel like doing it. I don't want to weave it over again. So I believe that the form is necessary for this kind of edging. So, the first stage. We moisten the tubes a little, because they were painted rather long ago, and soften them a bit this way. To avoid breaking while working. I have lengthened the tubes, because this edging requires tall tubes. In this case, economy would be out of place. The next stage. We bend the tube, leave some space. We don't press it tightly to the base. We leave some space and tuck it in the following way. In front of the first tube, behind the second one. In front of the third one, behind the fourth one. Pay attention to the height. Then we bend the next one, and we have to place it parallel to the previous tube onto the first one, under the second one, onto the third one, under the fourth one. Bend the next one in the same way, in front of the first tube, behind the second one, in front of the third one, behind the fourth. It is coming out rather tight. As for these gaps, they are going to get filled with the last tubes. And this way we continue up to the end of the row. One more time. In front of the first one, behind the second, in front of the third, behind the fourth one. In front of the first, behind the second, in front of the third, behind the fourth one. Continue up to the end of the row. So, we will bend in our poles in definite order, trying to keep this line straight. And we reach the end of the row. Continue. In front of the first tube, behind the second one, in front of the third, and insert into the window we have left from the very beginning behind the fourth one. Continue. We take the third one from the end, in front of the first tube, behind the second, in front of the third one. Here is probably better to take the form out. Behind the second one, in front of the third one, and behind the fourth one. There are 2 tubes left, in front of the first one, behind the second, in front of the third one. We kind of embroider. All our gaps get filled, and the last one, in front of the first tube, behind the second, we continue sequentially. In front of the third one, and down behind the fourth one. That's all. Check yourself. There have to be no gaps. All the tubes lie according to the pattern. The first stage of our edging is finished. We check the height, and if we see that here it is too high, for example, we follow this tube and we can pull it a little. That is, at this stage you can still correct your mistakes. This way it looks rather smooth. The next stage. We lead the tube behind 2 poles. We unbend and insert inside. We even have kind of windows here. We've done it. The next one. We turn round from beneath and insert behind the second. Done. The next one. We turn round 2 ones from beneath and insert into the window. It is the kind of pattern we are getting. So, from beneath behind 2 and into the window. From beneath behind 2 and into the window. It is the second stage. This way we continue up to the end of the row. From beneath behind 2 and into the window. We reach the end of the row and continue in the same way following the pattern. Here is the window. 1, 2, we turn them round and insert it through the window. And here in the same way. 1, 2, bend round and insert into the window from the very bottom. It is clearly seen here because the edge is made of different color. So we've done it. The second stage is finished. And the third stage. I like to finish the edges this way. It hides the tips inside and the edging remains neat. Here you can look from above. We take the tube and cover the next 2 tubes with a working tube and insert it inside. Turn around 2 next ones and bend it down. We are getting such a rope along the edge, which is going to hide all the tips, which we will just cut afterwards after covering with glue. Pull where necessary. Take the last one, above 2 and put down. Afterwards you can moisten it a little more and correct the shape if necessary. Prepare the next one, over 2, and this way up to the end of the row. Try to press to the walls tightly. Here we are finishing the row. There are 2 windows left, behind this tube and behind the second one. That's why we insert the first tube into the first window and the second tube into the second window. Check yourself as usual. There are no gaps. All the tubes are distributed more or less smoothly. Now I will glue and leave it for the night, and in the morning you can cut the remainders tightly. It is the way we've got it, Madera edging. Even from inside it looks rather neat. Actually, you can try even now. Let's cut a couple of tips. Afterwards I will just glue it carefully.
Внутри довольно аккуратно после того, когда, в принципе, можно уже и сейчас попробовать. Вот парочку уберем, потом просто аккуратно проклею.